right? Okay, and the airbag holds you there and arrests your forward momentum. The cage keeps things like SUV bumpers from intruding in your personal space, right? And then everything outside is designed to be not strong. Strong, but not strong. In other words, it's going to absorb the energy of the impact, right? Okay. So anyway, this is good news, right? Okay. So now let's talk about why it is that it's not good to be elastic. Okay. But first, a magic trick. Are we ready for this?
No.
Watch. It is a bouncy ball. But if I hit it twice, the molecules rearrange, and it becomes. I'm not comfortable with how little you're paying attention. Can you like turn? Is there a possible way to turn so you're facing this way? All right, because this is such good stuff. Okay, if I hit it twice, did I already hit it twice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then the molecules rearrange. I don't want to hit it 2 times again because then they rearrange back. They rearrange into a format that does not spring back. Okay? And now it's going to go back to the bouncy configuration. And then, right? Isn't that cool? They're like the coolest thing. I found these on the internet. If I hit it 4 times, it'll actually transmute into 2 different bouncy balls. One that bounces and one that doesn't. Isn't that amazing? Now, this one that bounces is made of rubber. This one that does not bounce is made of rubber. But it's a different kind of rubber. Okay, it is the kind of rubber that doesn't bounce. No, okay. Here's the stuff that came with it to explain it to like stupid people like me. Basically, normal rubber, the way things bounce is that when they hit, they actually flatten out. And then to bounce, they have to store the energy as potential energy, and then boom, they spring off, and it turns back into kinetic, yes?
Yep.
Okay, only it doesn't go all the way back up to the same height. So this one rebounds immediately, immediatamente. This one rebounds slowly. It's like a door closer. You can open the door quickly, but it closes it slowly, right? So it flattens out, and then it sort of goes, yeah? So I'm going to pass these around. You can stick your thumb into them. And the one that's mushy, you can predict, by the one that feels distinctly mushy is the one that really doesn't bounce so well. Okay? I'll pass those around. Now, which one of those would you predict would be better at knocking over a block of wood? Okay, if you're Assad in Syria and you want to put down some demonstrators, you're like, we don't want a dictatorship, right? You know? Okay?
I think the bouncy.
Are they the
just
same
bounce
mass?
off one to the next. They can kill them all.
So you can either shoot the demonstrators with bullets, which just sort of hit them and stop, right? That's the flowery version of it, right? Or you can hit them with rubber bullets that bounce off. You can hit them and stop, or you can bounce off them. What's better for knocking them over?
Bouncy.
Well, actually,
Which one's going to knock them over better?
it's gonna be the one.
Yeah.
Let's figure out the bouncy one. How many think it's going to be better to hit them and stop to knock them over? How many say it's going to be better to bounce off them to knock them over? How many didn't think either way? There you go. Okay, good. All right. So here we go. Here are the demonstrators. They're like, we want our rights. Okay. Here's the repressive dictatorship. It's like, you cannot have rights. Oh, not quite. Oh, it did. Oh, that was good. It got him on the second bounce. Okay. Okay, how about that height? No, that doesn't do it. Okay, let's try this height. Are we keeping track of the heights? Take that, huh? You will not get human rights.
Of course not. It's a block of wood.
Ah, interesting story that. There you go. So the height is about here, isn't it?
Yeah.
That knocks it over. Okay. So now let's try. That is the bouncer. Now let's try the non-bouncer. The metal. All right. There's about the same height, isn't it?
What the heck?
That's definitely higher, isn't it?
So which ball is that?
This is the non-bouncer.
Oh, that makes sense.
You were wrong, though.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was like flat out level, right? It's definitely better to bounce off, isn't it?
Exactly.
The bouncer's doing better, okay? Let's figure it out. How high do we have to go? This is flat out level. It's like, yeah?
Take that.
So, why, boys and girls, why does the bouncy ball do a better job knocking over the thing than the non-bouncer?
It transfers more energy.
Joelle's got some. What? Think about momentum. Think about momentum. They both stop, don't they? Yes? Why does the one that bounces off exert more force?
Is it because it can do it multiple times?
Well, okay, but even once. What if it does it once, right? What's better? Which is a bigger change in momentum? Is stopping a bigger change or bouncing off a bigger change? Bouncing off is definitely the bigger change. Yes, sir. Exactly, right? When it hits, it flattens and then it pushes immediately, right? Okay, so it's getting more push, so it's better to bounce off. Okay, so think about a car bumper. If you put a spring bumper on your car, what's going to happen to the G-force of a collision? It's going to be more, isn't it? In some strange way, it's going to be more. You're going to kill the people in your car and their car more because there's more G-force. That's what kills people. Aaron. Yeah? Yeah. They still kill people because they can break ribs and, you know. Yeah, I'm thinking.
What about bumper cars?
Bumper cars. Do they have spring bumpers? They do, and bumper cars give a heck of a jolt. Yeah, Duggan doesn't do them anymore because he got like jolted one too many times. Your spine gets old and less flexible or something like that. Okay, a little applause for the rubber bullets. All right. My next set of demonstrations were, guys, shh. My next set of demonstrations were me attempting to totally rejuvenate the auto industry. Okay, I thought that the industry needed a little bit more. You know, most cars work on the basic premise that if you make the tires rotate, they push on the pavement and the pavement pushes the car forward. But what if you had a car that was momentum based and had a momentum drive?
Yeah, we go 30 feet and stop.
Okay, so this was my idea.
That would be a momentous occasion.
This would be my idea, was that, and just don't laugh at my ideas, please don't steal them either, okay? But my idea was that you would have a giant pendulum in your car, and at night you would sort of crank this thing up like this, and then of course in the morning when you wanted to go someplace, and by the way, this would have worked, I just missed a minus sign in my calculations, okay? When you wanted to go someplace, you just release the pendulum and a little applause, please. Okay. And I ended up actually demonstrating momentum more than like demonstrating a way that you could like gain transportation or something like that. But the problem was that, of course, when the mass started going forward, the car goes backwards, and when the mass goes backwards, the car goes forward, right? It's like, but it would be a fun car to drive, right? It'd be like, sorry, my car just does that. You're like ramming people.
Parking would be
Whoa! Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Well, there we go. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So my next idea was, and I think this was a good idea. Okay. Rocket power. Okay. And this was just my concept car. This was my concept car. Okay. It was just simply going to be. It was just simply going to be a 40-foot diameter balloon. Okay. Attached to cars, and you wouldn't believe the people that were people just want to rain on your parade. I think they're just people that get pleasure out of saying no, I wouldn't like that. Right? No, I wouldn't like a 40-foot diameter balloon on my car. I mean, it's like. That's nitpicking, isn't it, really? Okay. So my next car, the next car that I designed, I must admit this was a little bit desperate, but I went there. Okay.
What do you drive now?
I'll tell you what I drive now.
A Volvo?
Now, I want you to know all the fireworks that I'm going to use in these demonstrations are all legal. Not in Oregon type legal. You know. these are very loud, so you do want to plug your ears, okay? And